for unseen prose in JAMB, in WAEC or NECO, we call it unseen prose. You have not seen before, but it is written down. So let's look at it. It was in the middle of the night. It is told across to the house where Edun and his little sister lay sleeping. He tried to make no sound, but the dead leaves by one of the windows cracked a little. As he trod on them, he paused low a couple of seconds. Then he went up to the door to try to force it open. Meanwhile, inside the house, Edun had woken up and had seen the man shaking the burglary proof of his window. He was very afraid, but he got out. He got out of bed and went quietly to his sister's room. So let's have the question there. In the passage, he indicates the use of narrative techniques. I mean, the use of what type of narrative technique he indicates? A, epistolary. B, first person. C, omniscient. D, second person. E, stream of consciousness. The answer there is second person narrative techniques. When you use E, we are referring to another, either E, they, her, you are making use of second person. If it's I, we, that is first person. Mood in the narrative is that of, so from the passage we have just read, I want to look at the mood, the way the atmosphere is. A, anxiety. B, emotion. C, gloom. D, quietness. And E, tension. When you look at the passage, a robber coming or a thief who broke in suddenly, you can see the tense atmosphere. That's an atmosphere of tension. So let's move to the next question. The underlying expression, it simplifies the use of talking about the dead, lives. Can the dead move? Can the dead walk? It's only human, the living, that can walk. So in that case, let's look at option A, apostrophe, no. It's not apostrophe. B, imagery. C, onomatopoeia, talking about sound. And D, personification. E, simile. There is no use of simile there. It's personification there. The example there is personification there. So you are trying to bring in animate to inanimate. Passage is Dutch in nature. Argumentative, no. Descriptive. C, discursive. D, expository. And E, narrative. So what we can say is descriptive. Describe the way the burglar came in. Describe the way the boy woke up, went to the sister's room. That is descriptive. The theme of the passage is care of sibling. We did not see that one there. B, Edun's fearfulness, where it's a part of it. C, Leaf's betrayal. No. D, terrorism. There is no act of terrorism there. E, theft. I think the best word we can use there is number E, which is theft. Because you already got a thief crept in. So let's look at this. This is a poem. The last one we saw there is a prose, unseen prose. This one is unseen poem. Back in my hometown, the boy all swim far out of the stream to board the boat as they pass by, and the good on the deck help to hand us up the bows. Oh, it is fun to jump overboard and climb again and again, on again, out and in, to the loud cheers of the sailors, to the last puff of smoke out among the clouds. Above the tree, many bends away. Then, and only it is time to take the final plunge. Your arms full of gift from the kind captain and his men, and there is no need to give a stroke because you are lying tired on your back, and your soft, cool bed, the stream itself, bearing you back into town, smoothly, softly, and safely. Question there. The poem is A, an octave. B, a quatrain. C, septet. D, a sonnet. And E, tercet. Let's take it one by one. and we're going to discover the answer. An octave is a poem of 8 lines. 8-line poem is 8. That is from a sonnet. Sonnet 14 lines. The first 8 is sonnet. The last 8 is sestet. So, but we can be divided into several parts. So we have quatrain. Quatrain is just 4. Septet is 7. Sonnet is 14. Tercet is 3. So let's go back to the poem in order to answer the question now. Let's look at the poem again. Let's look at the first stanza. 1, 2, 3. The next stanza. 1, 2, 3. The next one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. The next one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This part of this one is 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So the dominant, we can see from the stanza there is 3, 3. So this 1, 3, this 1, 3. The dominant type we can see there is that of 3. And what do we call 3? Tercet. So let's go back to the question now. Okay, can you see now? The poem is octave. No, it's not 8. The major is not 4. It's not 7. And it's not 14 line. It is 3. Written 3, 3. So tercet is the answer. So let's move on. The poem is A, argumentative, B, descriptive, C, dramatic, D, expository, E, narrative. So you can see that the poem is not argumentative, and it is not dramatic, it is not an expository, and it's not narrative at the same time. So the answer there is descriptive, B, describing what happened when they were sailing. The use of smoothly, softly, and safely is an example of A, alliteration, B, assonance, C, consonance, D, dissonance, and E, onomatopoeia. So when you look at smoothly, softly, and safely, I've made a reference to this type of a question before. S, and S, starting each of the word. And that's what we call alliteration. S. So the answer there is A. The mood of the poem is that of A, anxiety, B, disagreement, C, disappointment, D, excitement, and E, fulfillment. From what we have seen there, if you look at the poem again, you discover there is a kind of excitement. There's joy, So the answer there is excitement. The tone of the poem is that of A, anger. So once you are excited, the mood will definitely affect the tone. So it cannot be anger, cheerfulness, fulfillment, jubilation, regret. So actually there is a jubilation, but not to that extent. So the answer there is cheerfulness, because it's related to the mood. So the answer there is cheerfulness. That is B. Thank you very much for staying tuned. We want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel by just click like. So let's continue. A praise poem is an example of A, ballad, B, panegyric, C, an allegory, and D, an epigram. So the answer there is A, panegyric. You are praising somebody. It could be an individual, it could be a group. So you could praise a group, you could also praise it could be an animal, it could be a thing, particular thing you like. So that's what we call panegyric. A literary work in which the character are animals is A, lampoon, B, fable, C, parody, D, pantomime. So let me explain one by one. So when you talk of lampoon, you are trying to make guess. You are making fun of somebody, and you are doing that by ridiculing. So then fable, it could be a story. You want to ridicule society, but we are using animal. We are using something that is not human, and they are talking like human beings. Why parody is you are trying to mimic. Then pantomime is also similar to that of parody, trying to make guess by mimicking. But the answer there is a literary work which character is a fable. A fable. For example, I don't know how many of you have read Animal Farm before by George Orwell. That's a situation of a fable. A story where animals are talking like human and they are, satirizing. They are trying to ridicule, making jest of what is happening in the society at that time. The next question. A short single act drama is called A. This one can come out over and over again. We have seen it before. So it could come out in WAEC, in NECO, and in JAMB. A short single act drama is called A. Opera, B. Addition, C. Farce, and D. Playlet. The answer there is D. Playlet. Use the following line to answer some questions here. Through the trees. Okay, let's look at the. It's a quotation there. Through the trees, I will hear a single ringing. So a single ringing is highlighted there. I will hear a single ringing sound, a cowbell jingle. The underlying expression. The underlying is an example of a dash rhyme. Look at this. A single ringing rhyme. When you see rhyme have 2 meanings. It could be an end rhyme. It could be internal rhyme. So you can have internal rhyme, you can have end rhyme. But when you see the one that comes at the end of every line, we call it end rhyme. But the one that comes in between, within the poem, it is an internal rhyme. In this example now, this is an internal rhyme. So the answer there is C, internal rhyme. Because you can see single, ringing, good, gay. So they have the same pronunciation, good, gay. So that's an internal rhyme. Let's have the next question. No, let's read the following line and answer the question that follows. Yet, let me fly this bag with glided wings. This painted child of dirt that stings and stings. The alliteration in stings and stings effectively conveys A. distaste, B. admiration, C. indifference, and D. approval. When you even look at it, something that is stings, dirt, stings. So it's a kind of distaste. So it's not admiration and there is not an approval. So the answer there is distaste. So let's have the next question. Let's read the following again. Read the following lines and answer the question. Yet, let me fly this bird. Okay, the same thing. The poet's intention is to A. create human. So when you look at it, is he creating human there? No. Arouse sympathy. Is he arousing sympathy? No. Create fun? No. Show content. So you can discover that he's trying to show content, something that he didn't like at all, distastefulness. So the answer there is he's trying to show content. That's D is the answer. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking like. So let's continue with the question. So let me read the passage again to answer question 47. Yet let me fly this bird with glided wings, this painted child of dirt that stings and stings. The lines illustrate A. blank verse, B. end rhyme, C. internal rhyme, D. free verse. So when you look at it, it is an end rhyme. Wings and stings, they are rhyming together. So it's an end rhyme there. So let's go to the next question. So a play on words for literary effect is A. paradox, B. pun, C. a satire, and D. an elegy. So it is called a pun. You are playing on words. You can say that don't bring table to this table. Table, stable. You are trying to play on words. So the next question. It is a matter of sad joy. Illustrate metonymy, oxymoron, euphemism, irony. So when you look at it there, sad, joy, there are two contrary things. In that case, it is an example of oxymoron. Oxymoron is when you put two things that are contrary to each other side by side. You put them side by side So the joy and sad, they are different, they have different meaning, and you put them together side by side. It is an example of oxymoron. Let's move to the next question. The leading character in a literary work is A, foil, B, villain, C, antagonism, and D, protagonist. So it's like you are reading a prose too. The leading character there, is always the major character. So the major character in a drama or in a literary work is called protagonist. So he is the one by whom all the actions revolved. So all the action revolve around the protagonist, and the opposite is antagonist. Let's move to the next question. A long narrative poem that relates heroic exploits is an example of epilogue, B, epitaph, C, epic, and D, epigram. Can you see epi? So when you talk of heroic exploit, heroic deed, you talk of epic. So it's an epic. It could be in poetry, it could be in prose, it could be in drama. You are trying, somebody has done something of great importance, and they are celebrating the acts of that great things he has done. It is an epic work of art. So the next question. Over the cobbles, it clattered, crashed, is an example of A, oxymoron, B, pan, C, onomatopoeia, and D, paradox. The answer is onomatopoeia, because onomatopoeia will only talk about sound. If you look at chattered, it creates a kind of sound. Crashed, it's like a sound. So the answer is C, onomatopoeia. Let's have the next question. So an essential feature of drama is A, soliloquy, B, conflict, C, irony, and D, aside. So let's look at it there. We can have soliloquy in drama. We can have conflict in drama. We can have irony in drama. We can have aside. But the one that is very essential, very, very important, is what we call conflict. There could be physical combat. It may be psychological one. It could be internal, and that's also psychology. So there must be a conflict in drama. There is no drama without a conflict. So conflict must definitely happen. So that's an essential feature of a drama. The next question. A humorous poem with 5 lines. The first 2 rhyming with the last is A, an ode, B, sestet, C, octave, and D is limerick. So the answer there is D, limerick. So, and limerick is a 5-line poem, and the first 2 stanzas they always rhyme together with the last one, and it's always very humorous, trying to create amusement. Very funny poem. So let's have the next question. Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful. Look at the way I read it. Death, be not proud, though some have called thee the mighty and dreadful. This is an example of A, euphemism, B, metaphor, C, apostrophe, D, alliteration. So C is the answer. Apostrophe will always talk about something. It could be something that is living or something that is not living, but you are addressing. Let's look at this one. Dead, as if dead is a human being and you can see him. And most of the time when we pray in the church, nobody has ever seen God face to face. But I say, oh God, or somebody worshiping an idol. I say, we came last year, we offer you a goat. This year we bring a cow. Please take it from us. You save us last. You are addressing as if he's hearing you. And that is an example of an apostrophe. The next question. An essential part of plot is dash. A, characterization, B, exposition, C, atmosphere, and D, foreshadow. There is no plot without exposition. So exposition will tell you the forms that the poem or a work of art is going to take. Right from the beginning, the character will be displayed. This one played the role of this one. This one, you look at the names, you look at everything, what they are doing. So, an essential feature of a plot is exposition. The next question. The climax in a literary work is the dash. Climax. A, middle. B, beginning. C, central part of the dialogue. And D, peak of the conflict. So, when you talk of climax, is the last one. The peak. When you get to the peak, you are climbing up. So, D is the answer, peak of the conflict. The next question. Dramatis personnel is the same as A, chorus, B, prompter, C, foil, and D, cast. So, it is D is the answer there. Dramatic personnel, cast, those who act, the names one by one. When you look at a particular play or you are watching a video, a play, and they are putting their name, so person acts, so person, they put the name there, is the one that acts as the king, the name. So these are cast. You show them one after the other. So at the beginning of a play or a drama. Let's move on to the next question. Catharsis. And this one I come out before. Can you see repeated question most of the times, either in JAMB, in WAEC, and NECO. They are always interwoven. So catharsis is normally associated with A, pantomime, B, tragedy, C, comedy, and D, farce. So you always see it in tragedy. Catharsis in tragedy. Okay, you can like by subscribing to our YouTube channel.